Game of the Week is brought to you by La Valley Building Supplies, home improvement and construction from concept to completion. HR Clough, the home energy specialist, and Kearsarge Heating Oils. And Kearsarge, free checking that pays. Ask for Kearsarge checking at Claremont Savings Bank.
Welcome back to the YCN Game of the Week. Just getting ready to start the fourth quarter. Jeremy Stout, Andrew Zerhide here in North Sutton, New Hampshire, where the Kearsarge Cougars lead the Fall Mountain Wildcats 50-14.
Our replays are brought to you by Kearsarge, a catchy word for earning cash. Ask for free Kearsarge checking at Claremont Savings Bank. Qualifications and rules apply. See them for details. Member FDIC.
So if you're the Wildcats, you have to call that quarter a success. You outscored Cougars 8-0.
Yeah, and the Cougars did shoot themselves in the foot there with that high snap, but you got to credit Fall Mountain coming out, forcing fourth down here. It looks like the Cougars are going to punt.
And that's a smart decision here by the Cougars. Up big, just get the punt team on the field.
Ooh.
And we'll have a little false start penalty before we get the snap.
YCN Saturday College Game Day Live features 3 exciting Division I football games every week on YCN. On September 24th at noon, it's Charlotte at Temple, followed by at 3:30, Mississippi State at UMass, and at 7 p.m., Louisiana Tech at Tennessee.
Kearsarge will try to do it again. This time they get the snap away. Kick is off, and it's a good kick. High kick, plenty of time for the Cougars to get down there, and then the defender steps away, didn't want to get kick-catch interference, and then the Wildcat receiver kind of backed away from the football as well. But nothing wrong with that play. Wildcats do retain possession. They get the possession on the punt. They'll switch sides. Kearsarge, I believe that was their first offensive possession. They didn't score.
Yeah, I think you're right. Good job by the Wildcats.
We'll see what they can do with here in their second possession of the second half.
Right, yeah. I mean, if Fall Mountain can score another touchdown here, I mean, that's a good second half. Some positivity you can take out of this one going into next week.
But once again, the continuing movement of the clock. We're already inside 11 minutes. So it'll be tough for a comeback to be mounted here. But nonetheless, the Wildcats will continue to try the inside handoff up the middle. Not really much gain there. Bring up second down.
Our next Monday night high school game of the week is the annual Principals Cup as the Lebanon Raiders meet their rivals, the Marauders of Hanover. And in 2 weeks, it's tonight's host, Kearsarge, traveling to Claremont to take on the Stevens Cardinals.
So second and about 7 for the Wildcats. Approach 10 minutes to go in the game. Quick inside handoff, running it up the middle, which Fall Mountain has done quite a bit tonight, and they've had some success for the fact that they have had a somewhat basic game plan on both sides, but this one is going to be turned over. So Kearsarge will get that one back. I missed a fumble. I couldn't really tell on that play.
Yeah.
Vantage point, I couldn't really see.
Yeah, I'm a little confused as well.
But either way, Kearsarge gets the ball back. They'll take over just inside the 30-yard line, about the 28-yard line of the Wildcats. Kearsarge leading 50-14. We approach 9 minutes to play here in the game. Your Coach Matthews, all you want to do here is make sure you get out of here. No more injuries. You've had quite a number of injuries this year so far.
Right.
You want to make sure everyone stays healthy. Once again, a direct snap to Bryce Brown. He'll run outside the tackles. Nice gain before he's met by a Wildcat defender.
Yeah, Brown really getting hit hard there, but he did not go down. He kept trying to pull forward. Good job by both players.
Gets about 5 yards, so that'll bring up 2nd and 5. Wildcats getting up to the line, not in a hurry, but they're clearly not taking too much time. Another direct snap, as is the usual case. And spun out of bounds by a defender is number 20, William Moore.
Yeah, the Cougars playing some of their non-starters, getting some players experience. Could be valuable going forward, and as you said, you don't want to lose any key starters, especially a guy by the name of Justin Norris. You got to give him some rest here. He's got to stay healthy for the entire season if they want to be successful.
And as we talked about, losing 2 QBs, but really their game plan is to direct snap it to Norris and see what the offensive line can produce, and so far they have produced quite a bit this game and this season. Norris over 500 yards coming into the game, adding another, must have been at least another few hundred yards tonight.
Oh, easily, yeah. Our replays are being brought to you by Kearsarge Free Checking that rewards in cash each month. Ask for Kearsarge at Claremont Savings Bank. Qualifications and rules apply. See bank for details. Member FDIC.
So Kearsarge Cougars knocking on the door, trying to score again. Another direct snap. This time it goes to Nathan Harris. Looks like he'll be short of the first down. It'll bring up 3rd down and short, about 2 yards to go. And now the Cougars are just spreading the ball around to a lot of different players, letting some guys get some touches who normally may not have that opportunity. Six and a half minutes to go here, continuing to move. Clock won't be stopping. Another snap goes directly to a Cougar running back, and that's Brody Messer with the touchdown run of 8 yards. And the Cougars are on the board again.
Nice job by Messer fighting away the tackler, running outside, scoring the 6 points.
Brody Messer, a sophomore, scoring. Make it 56-14, extra point pending. And we've seen Noah Cooper have some decent success kicking. Made a couple, missed a couple. Ball down, snap, kick up, and it is good with no problem. So the Cougars add on to their lead. They now lead 57-14, 6:26 to go here in the game. We'll step aside, take a quick TV timeout. We'll come right back. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week. Welcome back to the YCN Game of the Week. Jeremy Stout, Andrew Zerhide here in North Sutton, New Hampshire, where the Cougars have scored again. They lead 57-14, 6:26 to go, and they get ready to kick off here to the Wildcats.
Watch the YCN News every weekday at 7 and 10 p.m. YCN News is a digest of all things local, news, sports, events, and public affairs in the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region, and now available at dailyuv.com. All on YCN, your local view.
So the Cougars kicking off here towards the scoreboard end zone. Clock has started. Fall Mountain will get the ball back. Trailing by 43, a squib kick, and it's just fallen on by the Wildcats up man. Doesn't want to do anything crazy with that, just give his offense some good field position. They come out on the field trying to answer that last Cougar touchdown.
Tune in to YCN's Outside Television in high definition on Comcast HD Channel 713 or Channel 21 for all the outdoors adventure.
Fall Mountain approaches the line of scrimmage. 3 men in the backfield. Jacob Shoemaker under center. Fakes the handoff to the first man. Gives it to Aaron Blair, the second man. Across the line of scrimmage, off the right side. A nice gain there of 5 yards, so that'll bring up 2nd down and 5 for the Wildcats as they approach the 50-yard line. Clock approaches 5 minutes to play here on a cool evening here in North Sutton, New Hampshire. YCN Game of the Week. Jeremy Stout, Andrew Zerhide. Cougars lead the Wildcats. Handoff that time goes to J.T. Gibbs, and he is wrapped up after crossing the line of scrimmage for a yard.
Number 8, J.T. Gibbs.
Second down and 4.
Number 30, Nathan Harris on the tackle for the Cougars.
Yeah, the second string Kearsarge defense looking pretty strong. Getting some reps in.
That's the thing you want to see out of a young team, where you have a runaway game, then your second string can come in and play just as well. 1 touchdown in each half so far for the Wildcats. 6 points in the second quarter and then 8 in the third quarter. Snap goes to Shoemaker. He'll hand it off to Morgan Wilbur, who will get the first down, move the chains. First down, Wildcats.
Tune in every week for the River Valley and Kearsarge Chronicles, the who, what, where, and when shows of our region. They premiere at 7:30 p.m. every Tuesday and Thursday night, right here on YCN, your local view.
So Fall Mountain coming up with a first down and 10. 3:45 to go in the game, trying to put one more score on the scoreboard. The quick handoff up the middle, and again, positive yardage for the Wildcats.
And Jeremy, I think it's about time to name the turning up the heat player of the game, the H.R. Clough Kearsarge heating oil. And, I mean, we got to give it to Justin Norris. I don't think there's any question about that.
Justin Norris, I think that is a safe choice. He had 4 touchdowns, a 54-yard run, a 54-yard punt return, a 41-yard run, and a 62-yard run capping off his night. It's not a bad night for Justin Norris. He'll win that Kearsarge heating oil, turning up the heat player of the game.
Yeah, and really no surprise there. We knew he would be a huge impact in this game, especially since the Cougars lost their 2 quarterbacks. We knew they'd be running the ball a lot, and Justin just did not disappoint at all. And you got to credit his offensive line creating the holes for him, because a running back is really only as good as his offensive line.
Yeah, and we've seen that in this area of the state where we have some very good running backs this year, obviously. Justin Norris. Next week we'll see one in Ryan Milliken up in Lebanon. Last year, Noah Wade and C.J. Lawrence in Newport. So we have some good running backs, and as you mentioned, that offensive line is crucial. I believe it was a holding penalty on the field for the Wildcats. That'll back them up. Put them in about 2nd down and 8. Handoff goes back up the middle. So we'll bring up 3rd down for the Wildcats.
If your business is interested in advertising on YCN, or you'd like your team to be televised, give us a call or email us at info@ycnnow.com.
Wildcats trying to put one more score on the board as we're inside 2.5 minutes. 57-14, they trail. The pitch outside to Blair. He'll cut back inside, scampers for possibly a first down, and it will be a first down. So they'll move the chains and 2:15 to go. Next week, Hanover hosts Lebanon. As you mentioned, the YCN Game of the Week will be there again. And looking forward to a great battle. Both teams starting the season 2-0, pending their outcome for this week. Kind of a surprise last week. Hanover, they played really well. I think they're going to give Lebanon a good test at home.
Yeah, absolutely. No one knew quite what to expect from Hanover this year, but so far they've looked great. I mean, last year they really beat up that Merrimack Valley team.
Yeah, a lot of teams, a lot of people talking in the offseason, the numbers in Hanover going down in the feeder programs, and football may be in danger, and they didn't know what to expect this year. But as we talked about, the first couple games, they look good. And Lebanon, we know what we're going to get with them. Ryan Milliken, as we mentioned, he's that workhorse, he's the powerhouse, and I'm sure Chris Childs will be ready to go. Kind of that crosstown rivalry, neighborhood rivalry, and again, we'll see a couple of those this year. And a timeout on the field with 1 minute, 11 seconds to go. Kearsarge leading 57-14. Step aside for a final timeout. We'll come right back for the wrap-up of the final minute and 11 seconds. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week. Welcome back to the YCN Game of the Week.
Nice job, Dave.
Jeremy Stout, Andrew Zerhide here in North Sutton, New Hampshire. A cool fall evening. Fall Mountain Wildcats trail the Kearsarge Cougars 57-14. 1 minute, 11 seconds to go in the game. Fall Mountain looking like they will line up for a couple more plays, trying to drive and score one final touchdown. Pitch to the outside, number 33, Leighton Stevens. Gets to the sidelines, gains maybe a yard. We'll have to see where they spot the football.
Number 42, Drayton Sauer line for the tackle.
Inside 1 minute, so Andrew, this game, weren't sure what to expect. Fall Mountain has had some tough luck the last couple years. Kearsarge moving down a division, but it looks like Justin Norris was the story, and he continued to be tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Justin was very dominant tonight. His offensive line creating holes. He was beating tacklers, just outrunning people. Kearsarge just dominating this game from start to finish.
A run there by J.T. Gibbs, wrapped up. He looks like he gets up. He's a little shaken. Goes back to the huddle, but I think that's going to do it. Clock's about 12 seconds to go. I don't know. They might try and run one more play. It looks like they're trying to hurry it up. Don't know if they're going to get it off. I don't think they will. And this game is going to get one more play. So they did get it off. Pitch to the outside to Leighton Stevens. He'll run back to the line of scrimmage and gets tackled by Kearsarge. So the final score, 57-14. The Cougars win this one. And Andrew, not a lot went wrong for the Cougars tonight. And the Wildcats just found themselves in a big hole, too big at the beginning.
Yeah, the Cougar offense was just too much for the Wildcats to handle tonight. And Fall Mountain did make a number of mistakes, a couple of interceptions, a couple of high snaps. And really the only mistake I can remember the Cougars making is one high snap that put them back about 10 yards. And they had to punt it away, but didn't seem to make a difference in this one. I mean, 57-14. You can afford to make a few mistakes if you're the Cougars.
Yeah, so a good game by the Cougars. Fall Mountain will head back to Allstead, New Hampshire, 0-3. Cougars upping their record to 2-1. And as we mentioned, next week we'll be on the call for Lebanon at Hanover. That'll be an exciting game. Looking forward to that. So I'd like to thank our crew, Greg and Alex, and all of you for watching the YCN Game of the Week. For Andrew Zerhide, I'm Jeremy Stout. The final score for the final time, 57-14. The Cougars win this one on Friday night. Thank you for watching the YCN Game of the Week.
Game of the Week is brought to you by LaValley Building Supplies, home improvement and construction from concept to completion. HR Clough, the home energy specialist, and Kearsarge Heating Oils. And Kearsarge, free checking that pays. Ask for Kearsarge checking at Claremont Savings Bank.